Dad Rules Podcast with your hosts, Mario E.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Dad Rules Podcast, where we help you dad better. I'm one of your hosts, Mario E. And Kid, what's going on?
Not much. Glad to be here. What we got today?
All right, so today's topic is no man is an island. I know we probably all heard that statement before, but we're just going to be talking about that today as far as, everyone at some point in time, they need some type of help. One of the first things I think about when I think about this is I can't remember which one of my kids it was. And I know I've seen other kids do this, but all kids reach this certain age. Most of the time it's probably around about 3 or 4 years old. When you're trying to help them, they say, I got it, I can do it. I think it was probably both of my kids. They probably were at that age where, you're doing everything for them from birth up until around that 3 or 4 range or so, maybe even 2, and they're like, I got it, I can do it, and it's so fun to see as a dad to see that because, oh, wow, they're gaining their independence now. They want to do things on their own and not just, rely on me, and they want to learn and explore, and that's great. But a lot of times, even into adulthood, sometimes, and it's great to be independent, being independent in certain situations definitely has its benefits, but we can't neglect the fact that we all need some type of help sometimes. Whether that's help with, someone may help you with a business venture with an idea. Somebody might help you with some money. You may be going through a situation and you may need to get some professional help. That's all help. And we can't turn those things away just because, I'm the man, or I'm the woman, or I'm the, I got this under control. Me. We can't do that. At some point we have to realize that, it's better, instead of struggling alone, it's better to just, kind of just get some help with certain things. Right.
Yeah.
And there's nothing at all wrong with that. Every successful person will tell you that on their journey to this level of success, they got helped by someone. Yes. Somebody maybe gave them an encouraging word, or someone was able to kind of, help them with an interview or help give them some type of game to where they were able to take it from one level to the next level. Every successful person will tell you that. It doesn't matter what field or genre that person is in. Every successful person will tell you that they receive some type of help. You can't do everything alone, and if you try, you're going to end up failing, unfortunately, and, that's one of the things that, it's definitely a delicate balance, right? It's, you don't want your kids to be so reliant on everything from everybody. But you don't want them to be too independent where they're just like turning off, help from people. It's a very, very delicate balance. But, those were the first things I thought about, when I think about that topic. What do you think about?
I think it's so funny that you said that about like needing other people, because like, I remember like when me and my wife got married and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's something with the sisters or not, but it's like she was raised to be an independent woman. And it's a certain amount of pride that the sisters have when it comes to, being independent,
Yeah.
And I think about it, and that's why it made me laugh so much, because like that's something that we went through a lot when we first got married, because I had my apartment, which I had a roommate. Her first place that she had a roommate with her, and then her roommate ended up, I think she was like ready to get married or something, and then she had to get a place of her own, before we got married or whatever. So she's in there, she's paying all the bills by herself and all that. So, when we get together and, when you early, man, I mean, we were 2 broke college kids getting married, man, for real. So, we didn't have the money like that. And, sometimes bills can get a little tough, things can get a little tight. And my wife, for whatever reason, it was like she still was in that mode where she didn't want no help. And we had to have several conversations like, honey, look, we in this together. We're a team.
Yeah.
If I don't have it, we're going to go through this together. Yeah. And everything going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's something like that. And it's like your kids do when they get that 4 years old, because Jonah's 4 now. And he's at that point where I got it. Yeah. And he does good with a lot of things, but they're still not that good at being independent yet. So It's like, okay, buddy, you make them think like, okay, you got it. But you still like watching them real close just in case he drop it or whatever.
You got to.
It's just been, I love it, man. I absolutely love being a dad. That's why I'm glad we got this podcast, because it's something I'm really passionate about, because that just put a smile on my face of just him wanting to do stuff by himself. And I'm like, dude, chill out. But I thought of something else. When I thought about a man, would you say no man is an island?
Yes.
When I thought about that, I thought about in a sense of relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know sometime, man, in life, we'll go through so much with people. And then we get to a point, I know I got to a point in life where I felt like I had people figured out. And you get to a point where it's like, I know who I know. And if you get too close or you get too attached to people, you're going to get hurt.
Mm.
Or they're going to disappoint you. And then I went through a phase of bringing myself where it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Me and you, we always remain close, but in other relationships or other friendships or whatever that I had, it seemed like if something didn't go right, I was just like, man, look, I'm cutting everything off, cutting you off. And then you get to a point where you just pretty much by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to say like it was any depression or anything like that, because I don't really feel like it affected me like that until I did open that bridge back up with people that were really good friends, but things just may have fell off a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And when I was able to go back around them, it was like they were able to, and this is like different sets of friends. They were able to breathe life into me, because it was just refreshing to go back to them and just like, oh, you still the same. Because we haven't talked, that doesn't mean that we're not tight, or that doesn't mean that you had a beef with me or anything like that. We kind of separated a little bit. We kind of grew apart.
Mm-hmm.
No hard feelings. You still my guy.
Yeah.
I still love you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like,
gotcha.
I think as dads, sometimes I think some are like overly social. I think some guys need to spend some more time with your family and maybe stop hanging out so much. But I think on the other side of it, it's guys that's more like me, that I am all about family. And I do need to go out some and spend some time with some other males and stuff like that. I spent a lot of time with my dad, my brother, nephews, stuff like that. But I got to a point where I really wasn't spending a lot of time or any time with my friends that I've had in the past. And like, in life, you get different elevations, you get job promotions and stuff like that. And you are who you are at work, and you are who you are in other settings, and you're that person and that's who you are. But then when you can reach people that are in your past that you grew up with and things of that nature, and they look at you like, oh, that's Kid. That's not Mr. Kid.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Just like with you, it's like, that's Mario. That's not the executive Mario. You know what I'm saying? Where you can have that common ground and just be yourself. Not that you're acting like it's not like you're being fake anywhere else, but you have to be professional. in a lot of the places that you go, but when you can get somewhere you can kind of let your hair down and just be yourself, and you kind of can go back to maybe like your childhood and just get that good feeling of, before you had responsibilities and you just were hanging out with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good feeling.
Yeah.
And I think, I talked about this before too, and I've gotten so much better about making friends in my adulthood, making new friends.
Yeah.
Making new friends in your 30s and up, because it becomes different.
Yeah.
It becomes different. It's a different way. Like back then you made friends because, y'all were in the same neighborhood, or y'all went to the same church, or you went to
the
school
same
together.
classroom.
Yeah, or you played on the same basketball or football team together. That's why you became friends. But when you're in your 30s, you just don't become friends with people because you work with them.
Right.
You go to work with people that you don't like.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta have a connection on the job for us to go hang out outside the job. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's important. And I've learned over the years to, when people reach out and they offer friendship, take it. And don't avoid it or get away from it until somebody shows you that they're not don't shove people away until they show you that they don't deserve your friendship.
Right.
Give them that opportunity. I hate to say it like this, but give them that opportunity to mess up. Right? Like, don't just cut them off before they mess up. Let them mess up. Yeah. They deserve a chance to mess up.
Yeah.
But, I picked up some good friendships, I got a group of guys now that, like, we're hanging out and stuff, and our boys are the same age, and it's just cool, man. It's refreshing, and it really lets you know, like, still good people out here, man. It's still good people out here. Just, it's not, the good people are not the people that you met. They don't necessarily have to be the people that you met when you were a child.
Right.
You don't have to know people your whole life for them to be good people in your lives and really want the best for you. I thought about that, man, a lot. And I thought about too, when you were talking about reaching out and needing people, and like, I'm the person that can speak on this because I've been through it, but like, Tim, he went through the recruiting process, and I was very active in his recruiting process. I made the phone calls, I sent the emails, I took him on visits, I took him to camps, I went all over, man. And the funny thing is like, and I'm just gonna say it because it's true. It's like the closer you are at home, it's like the more stingy people are with information. And it's the more that they don't want to band together and really work with each other and say, hey, let's all figure this thing out. I didn't have anybody around me like that. I felt like everybody that was around in the recruiting process, that we really could have worked and really got everybody scholarships. I felt like they wanted to be the most popular person in the community. They wanted their kid to be the most successful or the superstar in the community. And man, that's just terrible. It's terrible. And so that gives you, like, that makes you defensive. Because it's like, once you start getting information, then you start holding it in because nobody's sharing anything with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through that for years of learning stuff and not saying anything to anybody because of how I was treated or how we were treated amongst other players' parents. And it wasn't until I found myself in Boston, Massachusetts at a camp. And we were there, and I'm still like, you got to be the best person here. And, we don't share information with nobody. Nobody shares information with us. We out here getting it by ourselves, putting us on an island.
Mm-hmm.
Till I met a guy. And the guy said, man, he's a heck of an athlete. He was a parent of another kid. son had several offers. His son had several offers, and Tim didn't have any offers at that time. And he said, man, I want y'all to come with us, man. I want y'all to start going on visits with us. I want them to go play ball together. He said, my son said he want to play college ball with your nephew. And this guy started giving us phone numbers for other coaches, and he helped us through the process. And to this day, man, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to him. And he was really the one that changed my mind about holding information and not helping others. Mind you, I'm probably in my mid-20s right then. During this time period, I'm probably in like my mid-20s. And this guy just really showed me that, like, we all can achieve. We don't have to hold anything back from each other.
Yeah.
Let's work together and get this thing done. So, and I'm glad that I was able to meet him and see him early in the process. Tim was probably like still in the 9th grade when I met this guy.
Okay.
So we was able to go through 10th, 11th, and 12th, and I came home with a new mindset. Was like, no, I'm gonna help people. He helped me, and that's what he told me. He said, I'm helping you. I said, man, what do I need to do to thank you, man? Like, you giving us phone numbers and stuff like that. And actually, one of these phone numbers led to his first offer. You know, it was months later. It was probably about almost a year later, but he taught me the process of how to get scholarships. So when I came back home, I changed my mindset. And he said, what he told me, he said, I helped you. And I said, what do I need to do for you, man? You doing all this for us? He said, you just help somebody else. And like after that, for years, you know, I was helping other kids get scholarships. If anybody comes to me now, if anybody messages me now, if you got a kid that's playing football or son that's playing football or anything like that, and you need some help, I'd be willing to help you. This is anybody listening. But that taught me a lesson right then, was like, what is for you is for you.
Right.
Nobody can take that away. So it's no need to be stingy. It's no need to be scary. It's no need to not try and help anybody. Help everybody that you can. Everything is going to be all right. No man is an island.
Yeah.
Stop trying to do everything by yourself. And that's what I was doing. I was trying to do everything by myself. And I think if I had have kept that mindset of just trying to do everything in recruiting by myself and not getting help from anybody, not asking any questions from anybody, I don't think we would have had the success that we had.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because later on we would go to camps and stuff like that, and I would talk to other dads. Well, I wasn't Tim's dad, but I was the uncle, and I would talk to other players' dads. Like, we were at big camps, like we at the Rivals 250 camp, where it's top players in the country down there.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to one of the guys, I'm like, man, y'all got any offers and stuff? Like, just trying to talk and, you know, exchange numbers and stuff like that, because that's what we did. And the guy, man, he was like so defensive, man, like trying to turn his back and not wanting to tell me nothing. And I just kind of, at that moment, I said, no, this wasn't me. This wasn't me. And I was like, yeah, that was you. Yeah. That was you. And I felt like God made me see myself in that guy. And I said, man, and when I saw that guy and he was acting like that, and he was just acting like his son was just so good, and I was just like, you don't get it. I said, even if your son is good, like us working together, he could be great, but you don't get it. And from that moment, I could have helped that guy more. And I just said, man, you don't have the right attitude. And I walked away and left him alone. And
it's enough success out here for all of us to have a good portion of it, you know? So
it is, man. It is.
You don't have to be stingy with the information or stingy with what your knowledge is about something.
I guess like coming up, it was like everybody like low from a local level is like everybody's trying to beat out everybody because I guess they feel like that if a big school comes here, they're only going to pick one person. And I'm like, no, if all of us are good, they're going to offer all of us. They don't not offer you because, oh, I already offered him. No, if they don't offer you, then they don't think that you're the caliber player to be on their team.
Yeah.
And once I got that, I was like, who's good is good. Let's help everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so crazy, man. People, and that's another thing. And I've talked, I don't know if I've talked about this or not, but like Robert Kiyosaki, I think he was talking, and he was like, he said, it just amazes me that people that are having money issues or struggling and they don't know what to do. And he said they'll sit at the same dinner table with me and won't ask me any advice on how to become a millionaire. And I just thought that was so, it was just so crazy.
Yeah.
That you can sit down at the table with somebody and not ask them for advice. And you know that that's what you want to do. And this person is doing it. And you won't sit down and ask him. He's like, I don't offer advice. If you ask, then I'll give it to you. But if you don't ask, why should I give it to you? And I was like, man, that's so true.
Yeah.
We have people that are where we want to be. And we keep ourselves on that island. Man, y'all better get the boat out. Better get that boat out.
Yeah, for real.
And row yourself over to that other island, man.
Sure.
And make some connections and start networking with people, man. But that was a life lesson, man. I thank God that I learned. I learned it early in life. Well, it could have been earlier, but I mean, you just, I guess in sports, man, you're just so competitive that it's like you just get so focused on competing everybody on the local level. And it's like, y'all do know that it's a big world out here. We don't have to compete against each other. We need to be competing we should be competing against the kids in Texas and the ones in California and Florida. That's what we should be competing against.
Right.
Let's work out together and become better. You know. You got anything else?
No, just what you said about networks. You know, I was kind of going there, but I was just thinking about in your example, let's say if I'm a recruiter and you tell me if this is right or wrong, right? Again, going back to no man is an island, these recruiters have networks and they talk to other recruiters. I guarantee you they do, right?
Yeah.
So you may have a situation where, you're talking about how sometimes a parent may say, well, this recruiter is going to come around and they're not going to recruit, more than one player from, this area. Well, okay, so let's say, I got a son, you got a son. Let's say they were both the same age. Let's say my son was a quarterback and your son is a quarterback. And they're both the same age, playing in different high schools or whatever in the area. I might not be willing to share information with you, and you may not be willing to share with me. And I got to a number of this contact at some big school or whatever. But here's the thing: going again, saying some of the same things you were saying. What's for you is for you. What's for my son is for my son. What's for your son is your son. And I also believe that in a situation like that, a recruiter may see like, hey, I already got my recruit right here. I'm recruiting this kid, but I got a friend who lives in the Midwest and they may be looking for a quarterback over there. I'm going to send him that number. I might not send to someone that might be in a rival, conference or whatever.
Yeah.
But I know some people other places that might say, hey, you might want to take a look at this kid. We're full on this position right now. And, hey, this could be a help, for you. It's all about your network, even those recruiters have networks. So why shouldn't parents have their own networks?
Right. Right. And like I said, I mean, not to say that I would give a number to a kid that you got to have the athletic ability.
Yeah.
I got it because it's this credibility thing that you're dealing with. Is like I got this man's number. I can't just give him your number, man, and he's not gonna be into you. You can't do that. But I mean, let's bring it into video game terms. I mean, let's say that my son is an 85 overall quarterback and your son is an 85 overall quarterback. That man may come and see both of us and like, hey, I'm gonna offer both of y'all. Because I mean, that's what a lot of them do. They just they put out a lot of offers, and then some offers aren't committable. Like you can't commit. They might have, they got their boards, they got who they want at the top. And that person, if they commit today, they can get the scholarship. But then you might have some people down here that you can't commit right now because we want to see what this kid gonna do. But if, like I said, if I need a quarterback for next year, or if I need a safety or a defensive lineman or whatever for next year, I might send out 10 offers for defensive linemen of guys that are the same skill level. Because it don't make no difference to me who come. All of y'all are good, and I need 2 or 3 of y'all. So once you get into the analytics of it, it's like, y'all stop overthinking it, man. Y'all just help each other.
Yeah.
You know? And I've seen where they've offered several kids from one school. You know. But most of the time from the same high school, you know, you're not gonna have them 2 quarterbacks because somebody ain't starting. So
right.
But like if you got a quarterback and then a defensive end or something like that, it's like, man, they coming. You good enough, they might get you too.
Right.
Why shouldn't I just help you? But is that it?
Yeah, that's all I got today.
All right. Well, we thank you guys for listening to the Dad Rules podcast with Mario E and Kid. Look, guys, like, subscribe, share. Let's get this word out here, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Dad Rules podcast with your host, Mario E and Kid. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, follow and like us on Facebook and Instagram. You can find our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Breaker, and Player FM. Till next time.